Welcome back. So we've created our first document class for our Hi program. Now let's just go through some of the parts of that program. So I don't expect anyone to remember this. Remember everything I'm going to say today. Learning a programming language is just like learning a foreign language like Japanese or German. It takes a long time to get fluent in a particular language. However, that doesn't mean you can't start using parts of the language immediately. So let's begin. So the first thing we have, we'll go line by line across these 15 lines. So the first part we see is a package keyword. So special words in ActionScript are called keywords, and package is a keyword. And usually you can tell it's a keyword by the different color. So we can see here the package is colored differently to say this text here called hi, which is our own text and is not a keyword. So package is our first keyword. Now it's very useful when you're learning a language to add comments and to add comments to nearly every single line of code. They're very helpful even if you're not learning a language. If you've been using a language for years, putting in comments allows you to come back later to your code and understand properly what that code was doing. So we're going to add some comments now. So I've already, just to save typing, I've got these on another screen. I'm just going to copy them in. But I encourage you to always write comments. Okay, so the first comment there, and let's talk about comments first. So a comment is basically adding some description to your code. However, that description, when you run the program or when you create the program later, that comment does not appear in your program. It's stripped out. So these comments are only for when you're actually writing the program. They're not used, they don't appear in the final program. So this first comment is what we call a single line comment. And single line comments always start with 2 forward slashes. As we can see there, we've got 2 forward slashes. And the comment is, every class is part of a package. This package has no name, the default package. So yes, you can think the code, your classes are going to be bundled into packages, but there is one special package called the default package which has no name, and that's where we put this bit of code. So the second, on line 3, the second statement here is an import statement. We call it an import statement because it's got the import keyword. Then it's got this code here, which is actually, it's an address to some internal Flash code. So Flash comes with code or code libraries which you can import into your program. So what we've done here is import the movie clip class, which is contained within a package inside of Flash. So the package part of this import statement is flash.display, and the class we're importing is the movie clip. So let's just add this comment here. So I'm doing all single line comments at the moment. We'll see a multi-line comment, which is a bit different later. Okay, so oops, get the indentation right. We'll talk about indentation later. So import statements allow us to add more Flash code which is contained within other classes. So yes, so these import statements allow us to use classes that have been developed by others and also classes that come with Flash, and you'll certainly want to be using those. Okay, so line 7 now. We've got public class hi. Hi is the name we gave the class earlier. Extends movie clip. Now, according to our previous video, hi is our document class. So I'm just going to add a comment about that. This is the document class for, it should be hi.fla we called it. Okay, and I'm just adding a second comment now. There we go. A document class contains the main code for the program. It's because we associated hi.fla with our, on the right here, our hi.as class. So we noticed we didn't put in hi.as, we just put in hi. The .as gets added automatically by Flash, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so the other part we've got here, let's have a look at this statement in more detail. So we've got public. Okay, now we will talk about what this public means later. So for now, don't worry too much about public, and you may see private as well soon, but we'll talk about what that means later. We've got class. So class just says that this is a class. So we've got to have that class keyword, and then hi is the name of our class, and then we've got extends movie clip. Now we will talk about extends later as well. However, for now you can just understand that this hi class extends movie clip. So it has some of the features of the movie clip class, which we imported earlier. Okay, but we'll talk about extends later. So basically, hi class has some features of the movie class. Okay, finally, we've got this public function hi. Now, this is a very special function when we created a class. This is what they call a constructor or a constructor function. So we know it's a constructor function opposed to a different kind of function because the name of the function, hi, is exactly the same as the name of our class. Because they're the same, we know it's a constructor function, which is different to other functions. We'll talk about other functions later. We know it's a function, a constructor function, because it's got this function here. Okay, so we've talked about single line comments. There are multi-line comments, but we'll cover that in the next video, I think. And the final thing we'll cover is just these curly braces. Now, you have to look very carefully and see what type of brace we're using. These are the curly braces, which are just next to P, the P key on your keyboard. And you will run into issues where you put in the wrong bracket. So you've got your rounded brackets, which you hold down Shift and 9 or 0. You've got your rounded brackets there. You've got your square brackets as well. Not very often used, but occasionally. And then you've got your curly braces. So you will make mistakes. Just expect that. That's just all. And making mistakes is all part of learning a language. You wouldn't expect to learn German or Japanese in one day. Get everything right. It's totally unrealistic. It takes time, and however, you can start using the language, small parts of the language straight away and achieve some success. Okay, so that's all for today.